Yeah, now let's go on.
Are the majority of the people now who are claiming benefits. And of course, there's arguments on the other side that say, well, those were the ones that were in the war. But as we both know, the majority of people who serve don't see what I would call direct combat, and there's many ways to define direct combat, but they're not urban street fighting,
Right.
patrolling, going on patrols, engaging with the enemy. That's not the typical veteran.
Can I be honest with y'all? I was in a tank. I'm a combat veteran, but most of my interaction wasn't directly on the ground. We didn't do no hand-to-hand combat. I'm not going to say what happened. There were certain things that happened with machine guns, but listen, I wasn't an infantry soldier, so am I really a combat veteran?
Look, I don't understand what the fuck is escaping this woman's mouth, because it's like they both want you to get your musket, sir, and just go stand in formation and fire at the enemy. And fire at the enemy. Now reload with your musket. Like,
yeah,
where the hell does it say? And I'm probably going to swear more and more, so I apologize.
Go ahead, brother. We talking. Go ahead.
Where the fuck does it say you got to be a combat veteran to be anything?
Nowhere.
Not one goddamn place does it say it. And I apologize. I'm sorry. Oh, that's going in the swear jar. That one actually, I mean that one. I mean,
they even you look. It all requires you can be an honorable discharge veteran or general under honorable conditions, and I'm sure they have a few more options. So combat veteran is not a requirement from what I know.
No, it's not. It's not a requirement for anything. I mean, maybe PTSD, combat-related stressor, but there is literally no combat-related anything. And here's what it is. We're trying to make a social class system within the veteran community. That's what these two want. They want there to be a social class. So if you had to be a combat veteran. But then again, you aren't the same as a National Guard combat man, or you're not the same as a reservist combat person. No. Those people are below you. We need a hierarchy so we can feel good about ourselves, so we can be better than other people.
Are you saying this, my brother? Is that what you're saying? Hold on. Oh, man, it didn't come like... Boy, I can't stand when that happens.
It's fine.
Yeah, hold on. That's what you're saying. Look how they ranking veterans.
Oh,
I did this video 8 months ago, family. I saw this coming, where they're ranking veterans, special forces, combat veterans, military officers, female veterans, non-combat veterans. Can you believe this? And they fulfilling what I said. I felt this coming. I don't know where. I ain't saying I'm some genius, but go back and look. I did this when I saw that video with Sean Ryan, and I'm not saying he was being very arrogant or nothing other than he talking about they should just give me my benefits. I didn't see him rat on other veterans really, but I had a sense then in that interview with Doug Collins that was a problem. Now let's see. Say this is what 66 say. Everyone that deploys didn't see one bullet flying. Did not see one flying bullet. True. Yeah. Charleston say I am a cold feet Navy veteran. They say cold feet.
But see, this is not like, this is too generic. Your definition is too generic. So they want special forces. Okay, did you see combat special forces? Okay, so if you see combat special forces, then you are the tippy top. If you didn't see, then combat veterans are equal to special forces that didn't see combat. Like they have this fantasy in their brain, like of where we look. Not all veterans can be equal. Equality is bad. Because
why not?
Because we've got somebody has to be better than somebody else. It's the same. Officers are better than enlisted. An O2 is better than an O1. Like they have to have this better than. You have to be better. Not everybody can get this.
Everybody has a role,
but it tears them up.
I see that. You getting to it. You are getting to it
because they need to feel special. And not everybody can be special. If everybody's special, then nobody's special. And they want to be special. No matter what he says, he wants to be special. And he feels like that the rest of the pogues and the rest of the everybody else, that they dilute his specialness. He is the Grinch that stole benefits. He cannot ever be happy unless it's only him and his ilk that have it. In my opinion, this is just my opinion.
I
I'm no
ask you the
fortune teller.
question, Lieutenant Dan. Must you always be the center of attention? Did Daddy not love you? I just asked you the question.
Look. I mean, the way he talks about Vietnam veterans, and if it's true that his father was a Vietnam veteran, there has to be something there. I mean, I'm not throwing a stone at that. I'm just saying, like, he does not like Vietnam veterans.
No, he doesn't.
At least how he talks. Like, he could disagree with me and say, I love Vietnam veterans. Okay, then stop talking crap. Like, you can't, like how he says that he loves, like, I care about veterans. The hell you spent 2 hours talking nonsense shit about veterans.
In the next
but I like
out of
them.
his mouth. I care about veterans, blah, blah, blah. What's the name says, 668, a veteran is a veteran deployed or not, of course, because everybody's needed for their mission. 66 made my mind went bonkers when I experienced my first alert at 19. Listen, the alert tripped me out. I'm gonna tell you something. I tell them that in my first, we wasn't engaging the enemy. We were just support for Charlie Company who was engaging the enemy. But that first time I froze. So what if I got taken out right then? Would that have meant I was a coward for the rest of, I won't be remembered. I was just a young guy. I can't say I was scared. I was just in shock that all this stuff was burning around me. I had never saw nothing like that. And I'm from the hood. I ain't never seen metal melt like butter. And I found go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Like you tell it. I mean,
see, so should I be a coward because I froze? Because something could have happened to me then. Because I supposed to been kind of looking at the air, make sure everything all right. But I stuck my head outside the tank. I wasn't supposed to stay in. I looked out and it was 3 feet from me, and I heard all these rounds popping until they told me to get my head back in the tank. So he would judge me. He would judge me based on that. I just don't like that because everybody that's in combat don't always do the right thing. Sometimes the combat veteran will freeze up too. Sometimes, so they don't talk about the full truth, and we make mistakes over there. We make a lot of mistakes, bro, because you don't have but seconds to respond. Now, what's the name says, LT, this is Charleston, LT, Colonel Gade has daddy issues. He's got to better than parents. Okay, you got to be better than parents. Okay, now, Coasty say his dad must be proud of him.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't think his dad, I don't know. I don't want to speak about anybody's dad or anything like that, but I mean, I just find it interesting how negatively he talks about Vietnam veterans, and if his father truly, in fact, is a Vietnam veteran, that psychologically says a lot.
Yes, it does.
But I'll tell you this. Do you want to know, you want to boil this down to its most basic thing?
Yes, sir.
If you have unified veterans, they stand together. It's hard to change things. It's hard to take things against them. If you support this, hey, look, let's chop up the veteran community into different social classes, and then everybody's at each other's throats, and I'm better than you, and you're better than me, and then all this other stuff, right? It's easier to take things away because you can justify, hey, look, you bottom 2/3 of the veteran community don't get to have things. Well, the top 1/3 will agree with that. If you start dividing up and making this, he wants to create a culture where they're the haves, the have-nots. He wants to make social classes. This thing right here, except a little bit more nuanced, he wants to make a boys' club. He wants to make it to where, there's an officers' club and you're in the officers' club. If you're not an officer, then you're not in an officers' club.
Oh,
he wants to do all this stuff. This is how he has to chisel away at our unity. That's why I don't have the mental energy to try to track what it is that he believes should or should not be a veteran. I mean, I would have a literal stroke trying to track and
yes, sir.
I'd probably hang myself on the yarn. If you have corkboard and yarn. No, have you ever seen those conspiracy theorists that have corkboard and yarn and then they kind of run the yarn? Yeah, that's trying to track his logic is like having one of those things, and I just get wrapped up in it. You
Yeah,
find
get
me days
wrapped up.
later.
Yeah, that'll be the end. We want you here. Now listen, because if you had to sit in the room with him, man, if I was on the ship, I'd probably hop off of it. I couldn't deal with that guy. I just couldn't deal.
Look, I could deal with him on a personal human level. I would tell him to shut his face every time he said something, but I could deal with him. Like, I don't hate him. And this is one of the things that he had said is he was receiving death threats. That is wrong. I will condemn that every single day of the week. He is not that important to deserve a death threat. Okay?
God, dog.
He is not. The things he says are horrible. But you know what? There are people out there that say horrible things all the time. First Amendment, I believe in it. I respect his right to be wrong and will defend it with my life.
Is it more egregious coming from a veteran?
No, it's more egregious that he pretends like this is true. And people support it, and it's propped up. Like, it's so propped up that it's not even a good faith effort. People can see through it. That's what's the disingenuous thing. That's the thing that shame on him for saying this. Now, I do agree with him with the whole, like, should veteran transition, from service to veteran be better? Should they help with jobs? Yes, I agree with Lieutenant Colonel Gade on that topic. But once he says anything beyond that topic, he is so full of shit, his eyes are brown.
Well, I'll challenge you. We're gonna do the Lieutenant Dan challenge. Find at least 3 things that he says that you agree with. Now, Charleston say Gade ID is messed up. Sailors have been told worse. Oh, you ain't been told worse till you hear it in a minute here. You about to hear some more, Sailor. He about to say it. There was this is 6-6. There was a training incident when I was in Germany. Abrams, they call it M1A1 Abram, fired on a Bradley during a night fire exercise. What young kid wouldn't be traumatized by that? Exactly. It don't matter whether it happened in combat or not. Yeah. That is a tank round.
Oh yeah, like even a near that would be scary. Yeah.
As a Raider, have it ever been an issue where people try to wait? Have they ever put pressure on you to say, "Hey, show more lenient toward the special forces, show more leniency toward officers"? He's a colonel, he's a general. Show more leniency toward combat veterans.
I have had entitled officers tell me exactly what I'm going to do, which makes me giggle a little bit. They're like, "You will do this and you will do that," and I'm like, I don't have any time for that, right? Like, I don't have time for that. Like, sure. And they can think that if they got a positive outcome, they can think it's because they told it to me. I mean, I will, it's like entertaining a child. Sure. Pat you on the head and send you on your way. Like, it's the evidence that gets you across the finish line. If the evidence is there, we grant. If the evidence isn't there, we don't grant. I mean, that's the fundamentals of the job. Like, anything beyond that is like, it's his fantasy in his brain, but it's not the reality. So
yes. Now, Betty Bob say, who had the nerve? I say, who had the nerve, had the time to want to bother to send Gade a death threat?
Death. Yeah. I don't know. He says that in this video, though, that he has received death threats, which I can kind of maybe understand that, because those are the individuals that he wants to go into the workforce. Like, those are the severely mentally ill individuals that sending death threats is logical for them. So he wants them to go into the job force and just.
Are you saying he playing with fire? You saying?
I mean, he is seeing the consequences of his own actions. Like, I don't know, but I definitely condemn it. I don't believe it. Like, I think that it's wrong, and people should knock it off. And if you're not severely mentally ill and you're sending death threats, then you're wrong.
Because that man got a family, and he might have some serious issues, it seemed himself. Now, we had classes in the Air Force for a while until leadership got us straight. They issued honor guard berets for ceremony. We frowned because security forces earned them TACP, PJs, and LE. Now we're gonna get back to the video, family. So let us get to it, and we're gonna hit some more. We'll get to y'all comments in a little bit. I mean, because we want to. It's some stuff we want to get as much as we can. We can do a little bit here.
I would argue that's probably a small percentage of people that have experienced what you've experienced. Would you say that's correct?
Yeah. Not only, I mean, my experience was just completely off the charts.
He said his experience was completely off the charts. He's bragging about, yes, he's bragging about combat. My experience, he just listen to what he said.
What does his experience have to do with anything?
It's better than ours.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. I mean, I'll hear
We
it.
both know the majority of people who serve don't see what I would call direct combat, and there's many ways to define direct combat, but they're not urban street fighting,
Right.
patrolling, but going on patrols, engaging with the enemy. That's not the typical veteran. I would argue that's probably a small percentage of people that have experienced what you've experienced. Would you say that's correct?
Yeah. Not only, I mean, my experience was just completely off the charts.
Of course it was.
But, about 8% of people who deploy.
Hold on. Number one,
Hold on, guys. Let's give him a hand. Lieutenant Gade, man. True hero, survivor. I mean, oh my God, God bless. Like, oh man, he's just so, like, we've got to stroke the ego at this point in time.
Why we gotta brag about who got the biggest and the baddest gun?
Yeah, my boo-boo is worse than your boo-boo. And I don't understand it.
He says off the charts.
It's off the charts, guys. I mean, it's just the worst experience ever, and I will fight anyone in the parking lot that says otherwise.
Like, if you had to talk to him, how sometimes y'all talk to the veteran getting a disability, and you say, well, what are you saying your injuries are? He say, my combat was just completely off the charts.
It was off the charts. Yeah, no, it was off the charts. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm at the point where I would rather pass a solid kidney stone than talk to Lieutenant Gade in any meaningful capacity. Like, it is so mentally exhausting to just listen to the self-entitlement. Like, he's trying to rewrite history to where this thing of the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and whatnot. And I don't know what to do with any of this. Like, he just wants his bourbon. He wants to go back to a time when women couldn't vote and whatever. Like, he literally wants to be special. And look, I wish somebody would have hugged him as a child or something.
If you look at the screen, this is his evidence that his conditions, his combat experiences is completely off the chart. So you must give him 100%. Now listen, 66 say Lieutenant Colonel Dan, the tool Gade, and boy, let me see.
Lieutenant Colonel Gade, the Grinch that stole benefits.